The Chicago Cubs named Shota Imanaga as their starter for Game 2 against the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Brewers opt to start with a starter, a.k.a. Aaron Ashby, who has faced the Chicago Cubs on 3 different occasions this season. We'll talk about his numbers against the Cubs and who could be coming up after him. We got to talk about that, plus Jackson Cheerio and what is his status for this game as he killed the Chicago Cubs last game. And, of course, what the Chicago Cubs need to do to win Game 2. And it's all right here happening on Chicago Cubs Central. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for Chicago Cubs. Listen, we are part of the Chi-Town Sports Central family and networks. All you got to do is type in your favorite team and type in Central after. And then, of course, like I said, you will find one of them, whether that be Bulls, Cubs, Bears, White Sox, Blackhawks. We got them all, baby. We even got Illini Central. Check it out. Like I said, we are all over the place. But yeah, man, you Cub fans, appreciate you guys so much for tuning in, showing up and showing out with your boy with the watch alongs last week. We had so much fun. We will be back at it for Monday's game, 8 o'clock p.m. start time for the watch along. Chicago Cubs versus the Milwaukee Brewers Game 2. And speaking of which, the Chicago Cubs did go ahead and name their Game 2 starter. And to nobody's surprise, it is Shota Imanaga, who will be taking the mound for the Chicago Cubs in Game 2 of this series. Now, again, I have been leery about pitching Shota Imanaga in the postseason. I've really worried about Shota Imanaga pretty much all year since he came back from injury. I just think that he did not look comfortable this year. I felt like he had a lot of outings where he just did not look himself. And of course, he did have some bad starts in there. And again, it's either when he wasn't executing his pitches and getting walks, or teams were hitting the cover off the ball on him. He saw both this past season, and both and all of those games where Shota didn't perform. I mean, surprise to no one, the Chicago Cubs lost. So I look at this and I say, okay, this is a do or die game here. And you choose Shota and you put him in a situation where you say, okay, now you have to go out there and perform. You have to. If you don't, we will lose. If you give up what what Matthew Boyd did, and you give up 6 runs, we will lose without a doubt. So I look at this and I say to myself, the Chicago Cubs must get a vintage performance out of Shota Imanaga. And I know you say to yourself, Mike, how can you say vintage when he's only been with the team for 2 years? When I say vintage, I mean we need 2024 Shota Imanaga out there pitching for the Chicago Cubs. Guy that basically seemed unhittable, was more of a strikeout pitcher than a fly ball pitcher. Honestly, Shota Imanaga this season returned back to what he was pretty much over in Japan, which was a fly ball pitcher. But his first season in Chicago, the season where he finished, I believe, either second or third in the Cy Young Award numbers, was due to the fact that he was striking guys out left and right. The splitter was off kilter, and then the high fastball would get guys swinging up high too. This Brewers team is good. They aren't great. They're good, but they are beatable. And for what it's worth, the Chicago Cubs have the tools to beat them. Again, and one of those tools is Shota Imanaga. Guys, he is able and very capable of doing so. Tommy Hotovy believes so. Shota Imanaga believes so. You just got to come out there and execute. And run support. Chicago Cubs will bat first. In this game, you need to put up a crooked number the first inning. I know that sounds like pressure, but the Chicago Cubs need to put up a crooked number in the first inning. It's very important that they do so. They give Shota Imanaga some run support. Michael Busch did hit a home run in Game 1, and the Chicago Cubs led at the beginning of the first inning, and then Matthew Boyd gave that away immediately. But at the same time, like I said, it should take pressure off of your starting pitcher. If, what I'm saying, they know, okay, I got a couple runs on the board, I can come out, I can pitch a little bit more freely. I don't have to necessarily be so pent up. This is Shota's second time pitching this postseason. And I believe that he's going to come out and give us a good start. I'm really, really expecting a great start out of Shota. And I'm hoping that you guys are expecting that too. And I'm hoping Shota can give it to us. We need it. We need it. We cannot afford to go back to Chicago down 2-0. I mean, like I said, I'm sure Milwaukee has built confidence already off of their last off their last victory where they blew us out 9-3. But like I said, I mean, you still need to dust that off and move on. Use that game as fuel if you're the Chicago Cubs to come out and say, no, we need to come out and make a statement in this game and show them they're not better than us. Because I guarantee you, Milwaukee Brewers believe right now they're better than you. And they believe that this is a cakewalk to the National League Championship Series. So you need to go out and you need to show them that, hey, no, we don't play that. This is Chicago. And again, like I said, it's going to take a total team effort. It's going to take Kyle Tucker. It's going to take PCA. It's going to take Nico Horner. It's going to take Michael Busch. It's going to take Dansby Swanson. It's going to take Matt Shaw. It's going to take Ian Happ. It's going to take all those guys, Carson Kelly included, playing like they got something to play for. This offense needs to put it together, man. And they need to put it together quick in this game. They got to figure it out. You do not want to go back to Chicago down 2-0. Speaking of which, the Milwaukee Brewers opt to go with a starter that will pitch probably 1 or maybe 2 innings. Aaron Ashby is the starter for the Milwaukee Brewers in game 2. And he had pitched against the Chicago Cubs 3 separate occasions this season. On 6/19/2025, he gave up, he pitched a 1 2/3 innings, and he gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and 1 home run. On 7/29/2025, he pitched 3 1/3 inning, giving up 1 hit and 1 earned run. On 8/19/2025, he pitched 3 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits and 1 earned run. He is a lefty, and the Chicago Cubs, obviously, this season have struggled with lefties. This is a tool and a ploy by the manager of the Brewers to simply catch the Cubs off kilter and to move Michael Busch out of that number 1 spot, that number 1 hitter spot, because Michael Busch has been on a tear. He killed the Padres. And like I said, he also hit a home run against the Brewers. Craig Counsell needs to stay the course. Do not be wavered by the fact that it's a lefty up. Do not be wavered. Don't let the numbers sway you to take Michael Busch out of that leadoff spot. Leave him where he is. Leave Nico behind him. It'll be fine. Trust me. This guy won't see more than 2 innings probably. Like I said, especially if the Cubs beat him up. So, like I said, it's one of those things where, again, this is a game of chess between the managers too. So you do have to read and react, but sometimes the best reaction is no reaction. And I think Craig Counsell needs to learn that. Don't react to what your former bench coach is trying to pull here. Like I said, you need to stay the course, trust your guys, and let them go out and execute. And Michael Busch needs to go out and execute. He needs to see the ball well, and he needs to get hits. Point blank, period. That's the only way that will keep Craig Counsell from making a move and putting somebody like Justin Turner in the game. So it's very important that we do that. And then he will more than likely be the starter of the game. But again, they will move over to Priester, I'm sure, after him, which is just another opportunity for the Brewers to try to execute good pitches and strike out these Chicago Cubs hitters. However, the Cubs have to stay the course against him also. Like I said, we're going to see him in the game, come into the game. So, again, just got to be ready for all of these things. You got to be ready for all of these different tricks. This is a part of the game of baseball once you get to the postseason. So it's important that you do what you have to do. So, again, you guys will just have to stay tuned. And again, listen, this is a very winnable game for the Chicago Cubs. Don't hang your head. Forget about game 1. It's over with. Like I said, let's move on to game 2 and let's go out and let's execute. And I'm hoping the Chicago Cubs do that. I'm hoping they do. This is a very winnable series still, very, very winnable game. Just got to go out and got to execute. And the Chicago Cubs are very capable of doing that. So we'll see what happens. but you don't want to miss a single bit of the action, and it'll all be right here on Chicago Cubs Central. That's right. We're going to live stream, watch along the game on Monday. So like I said, you guys want to tune in 8:00 p.m. right here on YouTube. You can also see us over on X. So please join in for the watch along. I appreciate you guys so much. Hopefully we're able to fly the W after a victory. Until next time, go Cubs go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.